I have a new idea to make vaccines more effective and safer and easier to make. We've been developing briefly for this pandemic in our RNA vaccines and DNA vaccines that put DNA or RNA into your cells, so your cells act like they're infected with the virus. They start producing little proteins that your body uses to learn to what to fight. However, RNA and DNA, especially RNA, is unstable, so it's hard to store, and you have to look at all these stability problems and develop it for that. Another thing is, you might need a booster shot a couple days apart, because your body, if you just expose something for an hour, it doesn't really ramp up immunity in the same way as exposure for a couple of days, where it really says, hey, I need to remember this. It's also why the second response is usually more drastic than the first one, because the second response is when it already has some readiness to attack it. And then some people have side effects with allergic reactions and so on to it. And then there's administration, where oftentimes you have to inject this. What if we could get rid of all these problems? Okay, I think this is a way we could, and we could even more develop it easily. What if we made a super simple bare minimum thing that could make the RNA or DNA? Spew it out, and we trap it into some matrix or polymer or something, so it can't just flee throughout the whole body or anywhere. This bacteria and stuff could spew out a lot of RNA over a long period of time. Now, by spewing out a lot over a long period of time, you have the same idea of having the effects in over 14 or so days, but it's not as quick of a sudden dosage of a normal disease. So it's less of a sudden dosage of vaccine. So it gets less of the sudden sickness or extreme allergic reaction. You get over more of a couple of days, feeling maybe a little bit off. So lower the side effects, or you won't even feel it at all if you're probably like most people. But it has more time for your immune system to say, hey, let's ramp up prediction. Let's also learn, because you have more time for your immune system to figure out what antibodies to make, because it has longer learning to fight this stuff. And it wants to learn it because it's lasting a long time. You can also then get rid of serious infections by a simple solution of, if you start getting, it's not infection, side effects. Why did I say infection? Side effects is you could have something that kills off whatever the matrix or deactivates it, so then to stop an attack. And it could be a simple pill or something that someone can self-administer if anything starts getting too bad. The other thing you could do is now, maybe some versions are injectable, but some of it could be a pill instead that gives you it over a couple of days. The pills, injection, sometimes pills are more effective than injections and vice versa. A couple times of taking pills are more effective, and also your body does train through your intestinal tracts to learn a bunch of what is harmful or not, and it's a big part of your immune system actually centered in the digestive tract, because that's exposed to some of the most outside world stuff. However, usually it's chemicals and stuff break down too much while digesting them and everything, but having it encapsulated in this polymer coating or ceramic or some other matrix, and being things that continuously produce it after you take it in, and as it slowly goes down in your intestines, could mean we could eliminate those bad problems of it just being literally flushed out or digested quickly. And you could take several doses over several days to also keep it high enough in the body with you doing it. This could get rid of needles, which cost money, not a lot, but it also could just make people less afraid of doing it. It could mean that you need less experts, so you need to disperse and you just send people home with a packet. You don't need people covering themselves with needles. You could have people vaccinate at the house instead of vaccine facilities where you have a bunch of people commingling that each could spread the disease. Many other minor and big advantages. Then, because these bacteria and stuff are producing it, you don't have to store it as crazy conditions on this polymer matrix. Can also protect them from outside elements. so you could not have crazy refrigerators. This could also open up for better vaccines, because then you are not, that's another design constraint limited, so you can make vaccines based on even more unstable RNAs. And more unstable RNAs also might not work with a heavy, injecting it before you might need to inject a ton of it, but over a couple of days you might be able to put more tons into a person, so you might even have a less effective one per dosage, but more effective overall at the higher dosage. A bunch of benefits. And this bacterium saying can be reduced a lot, so it's not valuable in human beings. It can be even, you can eliminate all genes, so it can't even reproduce on its own. It'll be very safe. And the last one is you could just grow this bacteria in vats maybe, and have everything grown and made for yourself. So if you literally grow the vaccine. Well, I hope you found this an interesting idea. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year and 4,000 watch hours, which is really hard, but with your help, I think I can do it. And if you have any ideas for future videos, comments, questions, or anything, please leave them in the comment section below. Or if you have my DMs, feel free to DM me. I just don't want to give out my DMs out to everybody. Thank you very much. Goodbye.